Hey everybody, welcome to the top 8 of Grand Prix Chicago in the modern format. This is Brian David Marshall with my co-host, Jacob Van Lunen. We are about to watch Platinum Pro Club member Josh Utter-Leyton play against relative newcomer, relative unknown, Shane McDermott. Shane McDermott's the top seed. He's going first. Tell us about the matchup, Jake.
All right, so Shane McDermott is playing a Gifts Control deck, and Josh Utter-Leyton is playing a deck very similar to the one he played at Pro Tour Return to Ravnica, only he's splashing for Lingering Souls instead of playing Giralf's Messenger or Kitchen Finks.
So they're calling the deck Spirit Jund.
Exactly. Shane McDermott, his Gifts Control deck, he supposedly has been playing the deck since Grand Prix Lincoln, and has moneyed every Grand Prix he played with it. Is that what he said?
He's certainly, I think he's day 2, but maybe...
Only moneyed one and
yeah,
day 2 all the
Yeah, day
both?
2 twice,
Okay.
yeah. Just sorry, this is his deck, something that he really cares about. He's been tinkering with it and working with it constantly. The latest additions being Deathrite Shaman and Lingering Souls.
Yeah, a 13 1-1 trip through the Swiss. Kind of incredible.
You're so mean, Nate. I am such a terrible person.
So Tarmogoyf from Josh Utter-Leyton. I think it's a mana leak from Shane McDermott. We get them to move those cards over a little bit so we can see what happened. Oh, I'm assuming though, but
No.
an abrupt decay.
Oh, yeah. The deck and the graveyard inside the line. Yeah. They're giving me the earful.
See the players positioning themselves so their decks and graveyards are in play. Perfect. And there is Lingering Souls. Breakout card from this tournament.
Definitely. Just being added to everything. It really, the prevalence of Lingering Souls in this tournament really just put Infect out of the room. Infect was probably the most or second most played deck coming into day 1, and on day 2 it just wasn't anywhere. Probably the worst choice you could have had this weekend.
I felt like there were a lot more spell skites and sideboards. You saw card decks like Splinter Twin playing Grim Lavamancer. It was definitely a deck people were positioning themselves to be able to beat.
Yeah, people were very well prepared for Infect this weekend.
Yeah, it felt like the whole field adjusted to Infect, and Infect maybe didn't adjust accordingly with it.
Yeah, and Infect had shown so much success on Magic Online that, I mean, people probably don't want to show all of their tricks.
Maybe
before
Infect
the thing.
splashing Lingering Souls. I'm just saying.
You just Tainted Strike the Spirit tokens?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get them.
Get them. All right. So a top of the curve kind of draw for Josh Utter-Leyton.
Yeah, which isn't too bad against a deck like Shane's.
Shane makes 2 more tokens with a fresh
Found the gold.
Lingering Souls. And he's going to be able to flash both of those back next turn.
Yeah. And Josh, just to stem the bleeding, uses Abrupt Decay to kill a single token.
Well, he also knows he wants to play Bloodbraid Elf here. He wants that Bloodbraid Elf to get in, and he doesn't want to be double blocked,
Yep.
you know, by half a card.
As Josh Utter-Leyton is able to find a Maelstrom Pulse.
Oh, that would be pretty filthy
That'd be
here.
pretty good.
A Bob's fine.
Dark Confidant, not too shabby here.
The awkward shuffling of 2 cards as mandated by the rules of Cascade. Like, is that shuffled enough? I'd like to cut. And gets in for 3. Shane McDermott down to 14 here. A little bit of damage from his own lands.
Yeah, he does have the Creeping Tar Pit, which can bash through just about anything here. And the fact that he's going to have this wall of Spirit tokens very soon, pretty good. But I think he also has Damnation in his hand. He may just want to swing for 3 and then cast Damnation, because letting Josh untap with that Bob, it's kind of dangerous. But then again, he might just get hit by a Bloodbraid Elf if he
can
does
also
that.
just
That'd be
attack
really
for
bad.
3 and make
Four guys.
4 more guys.
Which is very reasonable. You know, having 7 points of power in the air and having your opponent be at 14, I don't mind that.
You know, and then he can close the game out over 2 turns with, you know, leaving some back to chump block and attacking with the Creeping Tar Pit or.
Mm-hmm.
just attacking with the tar pit. And 1 token. So it looks like he's trying to get Josh Utter-Leyton to commit more cards to the board here. Maybe another Bloodbraid Elf. No?
Just trying to be efficient with his mana. I think he... Josh now going to 10 at Lingering Souls. And this could be a dangerous Dark Confidant for Josh Utter-Leyton, even though he's drawing these extra cards, which is obviously good, but taking that 3 damage is kind of rough when your opponent has Creeping Tar Pit in play. It's 1 less turn.
And when you picked, you said you thought Gifts Control would win this match. Is this kind of how you see it playing out in general? Is this the way you see these matches going?
I mean, I don't have much experience with this matchup. I'm not 100% positive which is favored with a significant sample size, but we've watched this match twice now, and both times the Gifts Control deck was able to beat the Spirit Gen deck, and the Spirit Gen deck was piloted by LSV in one of the matches. I mean, it's...
Sure. So we see a Bloodbraid Elf going into Thoughtseize, and he's like, I don't want to cast that.
I'd rather not take the 2.
Yeah. Sends in everybody at that point where he's like, well, I'd be pretty happy to trade my Dark Confidant for anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to give me here, that's good.
I mean, Shane definitely going to trade some spirits for the Bloodbraid Elf.
Is he? He can just attack Josh down to 8 next turn. I mean, down to 2 next turn.
Yeah, I guess with the Deathrite Shaman, he can just put him at 2. But
Scary though.
it's scary because it takes
2 lightning bolts.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
And then again, if Josh just flips a 2 with the Confidant, he just dies. Oh. Huh.
Guess his plan is damnation.
I guess so. Seems a little odd, but so he just drew gifts. Which definitely changes things for him a little bit. It's a little surprised things have gone the way they have. All right. In for 1. It's Josh down to 9. 3 souls. Make 2 guys. And are there lingering souls or yeah. Oh. Lingering souls from the hand, okay.
Okay, so flashes back 1 Lingering Souls, plays the other one from his hand.
It still has 2 more in the yard. And I believe Josh has 1 Maelstrom Pulse in his main deck. Or, oh no, it's in his sideboard. He does no Maelstrom Pulse as main. And he has 1 in the board. So, this is pretty interesting. I mean, Shane's deck, I feel like the fact that he also just has like the Gifts trump once everything is said and done, pretty good.
Right, he has this great long game here. I do feel like he kind of took a little bit of a stutter step between two plans here.
Yeah, the chump on the Blood Braids instead of trading with one was interesting. Because that's 2 less spirits that he has to work with.
Yep. And
Yeah. So now. Josh.
we know Josh has a Lingering Souls in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a Bloodbraid Elf. Not going to play it here.
Yeah, if he was going to play the Blood Braid Elf, it would have been before
Yeah.
combat.
But he also has a, looks like a Liliana of the Veil. So he can play Liliana and get that last token if he wants to.
Likely just going to play Lingering Souls and flash it back.
Yeah.
Only he is he's hard pressed to race the tar pit.
So Josh looking to climb back in behind his Lingering Souls. He's also got a Raging Ravine and a
Which are really relevant in
yeah.
this race.
We've seen Treetop Village do hard work.
Oh yeah.
It's been kind of like damnation if you do, damnation if you don't, since it's
Yeah.
early in the game here.
Here, Josh or Leighton, given a window of opportunity, try to make something happen. But Shane McDermott has big plans here. He's going to
This looks like a Bloodbraid Elf.
that seems likely. And what do we get? It's a Bloodbraid Elf. Let's see what he finds. It's Dark Confidant.
Ooh. Josh is a little nervous.
He's at 8.
Running the algorithm. He has
He's
to-
just going
he
to get
ha-
Elish Norn anyway.
He has to play it, right? Oh, yeah. Little does he know. Nope, he chooses not to. Says, I can't risk it.
Comes in for 7. Really, 1 life is better than a 3/3 flyer? Come on. So, taking 6. Goes down to 8 here. And it's a Liliana.
Forces him to sacrifice, but here comes Gifts Ungiven.
Yeah.
Making up for whatever awkwardness we might have had along the way.
Oh, yeah.
The forgiving power of Gifts Ungiven.
Gifts Ungiven, grabbing Burial Rites, and Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite.
We haven't gotten a look at Shane's hand, though. He could have, if he's drawn And Elishnorn.
No, I saw both when he went through
Oh,
the
okay.
deck. So I mean, he definitely gets Elishnorn here. Yeah, there's Elishnorn. Okay. Yes.
Untaps, kills Josh Utterlayton's team.
Mm-hmm.
Liliana cannot get the Elishnorn this turn. And he can kind of just about finish Josh off with a Creeping Tar Pit and get him down to 2.
You're just gonna need a card. He absolutely has to
Seems
unbarrel
very
rights this
tentative,
Elishnorn.
Shane.
Yeah. And he's also got to be pretty worried. I mean, this is the second round in a row. Last round he just had to fight Alice V.
Yeah.
Now he's sitting here.
I
facing
mean, I
off against a
understand why he's
teammate.
tentative.
All right, so. And there it is. Barrel Rights turning Elishnorn.
Kind of.
I was getting ready to come ask Evan Irwin to come here and tap those
Yeah.
cards for him.
Tapping the cards so you don't have to. Very nice.
And now he's going to make 2 3/3 flyers.
Yep. See, he was happy to pay 2 life to do that. All right, so looking at the other matches right now, Jacob Wilson up a game against David Glacier.
That's Spirit Jund up a game on Red Green Tron. Edgar Flores with Blue White Angels is up a game on Michael Simon in his revenge match against Splinter Twin. And Alex Magleton with the Robots up a game on Ryan Hovis, who is
Upset
playing
City.
Nyapod. Are you over the bracket? That's a sideboard's a 4. Discards Damnation. 2.
All right, so Shane can activate Cribbing Tar Pit and kill Josh.
Josh is at 7. I mean, he's
Could be worried about a Terminate. The only thing he can just attack with Creeping Tar Pit and 1 Spirit, and that's lethal. And then he doesn't die to a removal spell. So that's the safe play. Or he can send 1 Spirit to the Liliana also. He's not activating Liliana. Ooh.
okay. What do we got?
Now Josh can just chump and live.
Goes to 1.
Yeah.
Chooses to animate his Raging Ravine so that if for some reason there's a removal spell, he can tap his Raging Ravine and then activate his Treetop Village.
Yep, it's just down to 1. It's Liliana.
Nothing he can draw here.
Yep, and that's it.
Okay. Game 1, Shane McDermott. That's your bracket saver.
Yeah, he's. Whew. I almost.
You almost, well, I mean, it's all game 1s. That's what sideboards are for.
Yeah.
I think Shane seemed a little nervous considering Normandy. Remember, for Shane, he's playing right now in the final round of a PTQ.
Oh, that's true.
Shane
Yeah.
is not qualified for Pro Tour Gate Crash, and if he wins this round, he qualifies for the Pro Tour, top 4. Gets to go to the Pro Tour, gets a flight to the Pro Tour. You know,
It's a big deal.
it's a huge deal. I mean, when you're a player, I mean, all of you guys know this at home. You know, you've been going to PTQs, you've gone to Grand Prix trials, you've gone to Grand Prix. The goal is to see how you can do. Like, you want to find out what's going to happen when you get to the Pro Tour. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, you want to play against the best people in the world.
Yeah, so that's a big match. It's a big match for him. Probably a huge match for Ryan Hovis. I think both Michael Simon and Edgar Flores looking to be qualified for the Pro Tour. And I think the same may be true of both David Glacier and Jacob Wilson. I know David Glacier's had some success, but I don't know that he's currently qualified. So, you know, there are 6 slots, 6 people vying for invites to the Pro Tour here.
Yeah, I think the only 2 are previously qualified are Alex and Josh.
Yeah.
So that's Alex Majleton and Josh Utter-Layton.
It looks like they're taking a break. In between games. See coverage reporter Nate Price there at the front table, doing coverage of his 2 quarterfinal matches, while Steve Sadin, another daily MTG columnist along with you and I, does limited information every week, is watching the Edgar Flores Michael Simon match. There you get a look at the crowd, looking at themselves. It's very high.
Hey guys,
They
what's going
can't
on?
see us. We can see
Looking
you.
at yourselves. There's a Matt Nass there, a wild
Yeah.
Matt Nass.
Yeah. So a lot of players all the way on the other end of the room playing in a 5K right now. Standard 5K going on.
Battling.
Lots of stuff to do at a Grand Prix. Once you're done with the main action, people playing in 8-person booster drafts, playing in 8-person win-a-box, modern tournaments, standard tournaments.
Legacy tournaments.
Legacy tournaments, a $5,000 cash tournament going on in standard. You know, all sorts of stuff to do. Lots of trading, all sorts of fun. Artists to meet, RK Post, Steve Argyle, and I'm forgetting, Mark Tadine. We're all here. We saw some unbelievable playmat altars being done by Mark Tadine, drawing additional tentacled monsters lurking beneath the lake shore of Chicago.
Yeah.
Just like these really just fantastic, hideous Cthulian nightmares just underneath the lurking just off the city shore. Beautiful.
Josh Utter-Layton's Jamba Juice looks delicious. I'm gonna go steal it. The events, though, it's great to make your way out to a Grand Prix. Next week, we're going to be in Charleston. So if you guys have been playing a lot of Standard, or if you're interested in playing Standard, you should make your way down there. You can get to battle in Grand Prix. It's great fun. Maybe you can find yourself in the top 8 here.
So we're taking a look right now at the match between David Glacier and Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson's up 1-0, and that's David Glacier on your right. He's got a piece of the Urzatron. I can never remember which is which.
He is the power plant currently, and just top deck to the tower.
And we know he is playing against a very similar list to the one that
Josh
Josh
Utter-Layton's
Utter-Layton's playing, yes. So you see David looking for a Sylvan Scrying or an Ancient Stirrings or an Expedition map.
As soon as he gets to those big numbers of mana, David Glacier can just start taking a game over. We've watched him previously. He's
got
Yeah,
a number of, you know, the thing about his deck also is it has a number of sweeper spells. He has Oblivion Stones, he has Pyroclasms, he has Graveyard Hate, he's got
got a lot of
Wormcoil
stuff going on.
Engines.
Oblivion Stone comes down. Jacob Wilson gonna Get an extra card with the Stark Confidant. Gets a Treetop Village for free. Draws Tarmogoyf.
I'm in your way.
Cracking Glacier for 2, but David Glacier, it's just a matter of time before he's able to draw that Wormcoil Engine. Before he's able to cast Wormcoil Engines, rather. It looks like he does have the...
It's a deck card very similar to Nevernal's Disc, which a lot of us older players may remember fondly.
Oh, it is very similar. I mean, you can crack it all in one turn, though, which is nice.
Right. It doesn't
Kind
come
of
into play
having
tapped.
An all-is-dust sort of effect.
It costs 3 to play, and is it 4 to activate?
5.
5 to activate, and then you can also pay to put counters on permanents to protect them from Oblivion Stone.
Yes. You can pay 4 and tap it to put the Oblivion counters on.
Which has never ever happened.
I've seen it happen in limited.
Yeah. Oh, it happened in limited for sure. And there we just saw an Ancient Grudge.
And not what Glacier wanted to see there at all.
No.
Strawberry banana.
That Ancient Grudge definitely going to get aimed at Oblivion Stone here.
Blarg. Okay. Well, we're going to step away. It looks like the match between Josh Utter-Leyton and Shane McDermott is ready to start. They're still shuffling up a little, I mean. But
Here they are presenting.
presuming that there's no mulligans here, we'll stick with this match. We may swing the camera back over if there's a little bit of a rain delay.
They're going to go down to 6 cards. Region. But Shane McDermott's deck seems like it's really well positioned against these
The Jund decks.
Jund decks. And I mean, he has answers to everything. Like, he has Mana Leak. He has 9 spot removal spells.
It's kind of like
He has
almost like a
Damnation.
Jund. It's almost
He
like a
has,
Jund deck with Mana Leak.
Yeah, and Damnation. Instead of casting Bloodbraid Elf, he just gets like a Suspend 1 Echo Elishnorn.
Okay. And Josh Utter-Leyton says,
That looks keepable to me.
Day one. Alright, they both got it. You can start, guys.
all right, we're underway.
All right, a Deathrite Shaman from Josh Utter-Leyton. Shane McDermott, Creeping Tar Pit. And Deathrite Shaman, one of the breakout cards from Pro Tour Return to Ravnica, but really it's been proven to be as powerful as everybody believed it to be since then.
Oh, sure. I think it's going to end up being in
I don't know, maybe that was the moment.
sort of all-time class of one-drops.
Oh, definitely. It's up there with Lavamancer, with Wild Nicodle.
And so here we see it powering out a turn 3 Lingering Souls. So David Glacier was not able to
Assemble that Tron.
come like it yet. He never assembled a Tron. His Oblivion Stone was
Ancient Grudge.
Yeah,
when
Ancient
the
Grudged, and
Confidant hit it.
that means his next artifacts were able. That was going to happen as well, and he goes down 2 games to nothing to Jacob Wilson playing Spirit Jund. Jacob Wilson advances to the semifinals. Jacob Wilson earns an invite to Pro Tour Gatecrash. Congratulations, Jacob Wilson. But you still have some more work to do. Don't relax yet.
Don't give up yet. There's a trophy on the line, and a trophy's way better than
There's money on the line.
Trophy's way better than money. money like comes and goes, you know. Trophies are forever.
All right.
Deathrite Shaman eats a bolt.
And Josh Layton just assembles an Air Force.
Shane's going to need some way to reset the board in the next few turns. If he doesn't have it, this could be it.
I mean, he's still at 17. He's got a couple turns here still.
Yeah, it's 5 points of power. Oh, it looks like Josh wisely slow rolling a Thoughtseize so that he can do it the turn before Shane would be able to cast a card like Damnation. All right, so here I'm expecting Josh to use the Thoughtseize on this turn.
Certainly wants to know if that Damnation is in his future. It would have been. There is a Snapcaster Mage, but that's a little far off.
Yeah, that's a few turns away at this point.
And we have a Deathrite Shaman to say, no.
Let's hang out. Yeah, Deathrite Shaman pretty good against Snapcaster Mage. I'm actually surprised Snapcaster Mage is staying against Deathrite Shaman deck.
Yeah. Although I guess, it's a, it's part of a gift package that you can get.
It's true. Shane McDermott can buy a lot of time here. He does have a Lingering Souls of his own.
Is it true you got fitted for a suit this week, Jake?
Fitted as a suit? Is that what
Possibly.
future telling of the person who's going to skin me?
Jake has a fan.
Is that so hard to believe? No, I'm kidding. A Misty Rainforest down here. And Shane, I think he's just going to have to start buying time. He's going to need to cast this Lingering Souls. Start assembling a bit of an Air Force. He can flash it back also. It's just, at this point, ooh, this is nice.
See a very happy Jacob Wilson walking by. Huge weight off his shoulders. Knows he's going to the Pro Tour.
So an Abrupt Decay, targeting Deathrite Shaman. So Josh is going to be forced to use the Deathrite Shaman to remove that Damnation right now.
And that's what he does.
Shane going to fall to 10 here. And then he gets to cast a Lingering Souls. Suddenly things don't look so bad for Mr. Shane McDermott.
Lingering Souls is really quite the... plays both offense and defense quite well.
Yeah. Definitely leans on all ends of the table. So Brian Kibler was in the booth earlier today, and he was telling me that the version of Jund that's being played by the Channel Fireball team with Lingering Souls this weekend is actually an idea that Joshua Layton had during testing. Oh, and here Joshua Layton's coming with everybody, getting really aggressive, forcing Shane McDermott to make a choice between a chump block and being actually able to trade with one of these spirits. Shane McDermott chooses to chump the 4-power Ragier Evade and take 3 in the air. Now Shane's got some decisions to make. He can Is there another land in a graveyard anywhere? No, it doesn't look like there is, so. No land in the graveyard means that he's going to need to.
Right, one more land, a land that he'd be able to Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay.
Well, Abrupt Decay actually can't kill the Raging Ravine, I forgot, because it's non-land permanent, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's a creature, it's also a land.
Need the smother.
So when you couldn't into the Royal somebody's
Oh, yeah.
man land when they attacked you. So rough.
To the Royal. That's a sweet card,
Oh yeah.
despite its limitations. Yeah, we see.
Deathrite Shaman for Josh.
And takes it to Shane McDermott.
Josh just grinding Shane away. Now that Raging Ravine at 5 power now. Shane taking another 2 damage. Gonna go ahead and gain 2. Hopping back up to 7. Still not in a good spot at all. Needs to find some way to survive here.
Snapcaster Mages to kill the Deathrite Shaman. Still taking 2 in the air. But then being able to offset that too with his Deathrite Shaman.
Yep. Unfortunately, only had 1 green mana available to him, so he's unable to gain life and use the Snapcaster about to play Abrupt Decay play all in the same turn.
Here comes the Ravine.
This Raging Ravine just doing a ton of work. It's now a 6/6.
Yeah, I feel like the Raging Ravine's just almost getting its. I mean, it was pretty big in Jund and in Standard too, but
Oh,
I always
so good.
felt like those man lands were a little underappreciated. We were really seeing them flourish.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're seeing significant play here in Modern, it's really telling of just how powerful they are.
Yeah. Tarmogoyf for Josh Layton. Gain a little bit of life back for Shane McDermott. And
Creeping Tar Pit is one that you might expect to see
Yeah.
in a format like this. I mean, it's had quite a bit of legacy success. Just a 3-power unblockable creature for that mana cost. A really effective way to get out of
and
Planeswalker
there's
almost
a
no matter
Worm
what.
Coil Engine.
Yep.
Am I dead?
And Wormcoil Engine's really good.
Can be though. You could say that.
Death Touch and Lifelink. He has to block the Raging Ravine, I assume.
Yep.
Ah!
Yep. Rakdos Charm. Killing that before the lifelink trigger. And lifelink doesn't trigger anymore, it just happens all at once, right, with
Right.
damage?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, would have survived, but
Rakdos Charm for the win.
yeah, we've seen Rakdos Charm now just be awesome for them
Right.
over and
So-
over in
so
all sorts of
basically-
matchups.
So basically what happened is Shane was expecting to trade his Wormcoil Engine with the land, get 2 tokens, but also gain the life. Gain
Yeah.
6 life from Lifelink. That happened simultaneous with all the other damage he was being dealt that would have otherwise taken him below 0. But because the creature didn't end up getting to deal damage,
He blocks that guy, but then I kill it.
He was killed by the Tarmogoyf and the spirits.
he was dead.
Yep.
Dead.
And that's a really useful trick when you're playing something that allows you to sacrifice things at instant speed or allows you to kill things at instant speed. If they have a really big life linker that you can't deal with in play, when you attack with all of your creatures, you can remove the creature they block with their life linker from combat, or remove their life linker from combat somehow after they choose their blocker, and then they don't gain the life. And if they're low enough, then this can give you a window of opportunity to bash through and
these are the sort of basic tricks you need to have in your arsenal.
Yes.
If you're going to figure your way out of a situation that on its surface might look unwinnable.
Yes.
You know, exactly. they're sort of, you know, it's not, you know, if you talk to the pros, they're not going to be like, oh, it's this unbelievable play. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, this is a pretty basic meat and potatoes good play, but you need to know how to do it. So we have another result from the back table. Edgar Flores will be qualified for a Pro Tour gate crash. He has defeated Michael Simon in his revenge match. We saw Edgar play against Michael Simon first round of action today, or first round of action today. And really, Edgar did not play a great match of Magic, made a couple mistakes.
Yeah, got punished for it.
And got punished for it, basically conceded. You know, could have played differently, then could have then conceded before he was actually dead.
It conceded before he was dead when he had outs.
Yeah.
Also played badly to get into the situation that caused him to concede.
But
it kind of conceded out of just being frustrated.
Yeah,
being frustrated.
And sounded like he was on tilt in the early part of the day. Sounds like he's righted the ship and is now qualified for Pro Tour Gate Crash. And Alex Magleton with robots has pushed his way through.
So now Alex Magleton also. So we're watching the last game of the quarterfinals here.
Yeah, this you know, modern format on day 2 has moved really, really swiftly here. So Alex
we're already into the top 8. This is pretty incredible.
So our top 4, we know that Jacob Wilson with Spirit Jund is going to play Edgar Flores playing Blue White Angels. Who do you like in that matchup? You got both of these wrong in the quarterfinals.
Well, to be fair, I thought the Angels deck was favored. I just had seen the Slitter Twin deck win prior. And the red-green Tron deck should beat Spirit Jund.
Okay.
It's a deck that has 4 warp coils post-board. How does that not win?
I don't know.
Anyway, all right, the Angels against Spirit Jund. I'm gonna go with the Angels.
Okay, there you have it.
Yep. So you guys know to vote for Spirit Jund.
There you see Edgar Flores, winner of his match, talking to the judge, going, where can I go? When do I need to be back here? Nate says, yep, that sounds fine. Go that way.
If they're not on a match, then you should probably come back over here.
Don't go far. Because we're all hungry.
Yes. We all are hungry for victory.
And pizza.
Bread bowl, cheese, tomatoes. Hey guys, you're on TV. Matt 2 Backpacks NAS. Taking a break from watching coverage.
There you get a look at, I believe that's Jacob Wilson sitting right there front and center.
Yeah. About to
probably checking his phone to see that I just started following him on Twitter.
David Ochoa just made a funny face, bounced out of the side of the camera view.
He's like, no, I don't like that look.
Who is this? Oh, Ochoa? Yeah. Yeah, Ochoa is sitting right there next to the...
It's Rashad playing with his toys.
He's getting tugged. He's being bashful. Doesn't want to come out now. Wonderful, wonderful. It's exactly what we needed.
He's certainly watching on, very excited to see if his teammate Josh Arthur-Layton can come back from a 1-0 hole. He's already tied it up against Shane McDermott. Shane, the top seed, coming out of the Swiss round with gifts control. A deck you were really excited to see this weekend.
Yeah, I've wanted a control deck to be strong in this format, and I'm happy to see that one managed to be on top of the standings after the Swiss. Gets me on the play here. Now again on the play, going into game 3. Have to like his chances, but I think post-boarded games, Josh might be a slight favorite.
Okay, I mean, again, you know, Gift seems like it could stumble a little bit against Deathrite Shaman.
Definitely. That's definitely one of the cards that's weaker against, but the thing that Shane's deck has kind of proven to me is that if you play enough cheap spot removal, if you stumble against the Deathrite Shaman, it's not unwinnable. You know, you can draw a spot removal spell. It's that last game.
It's very Gift's rock, honestly.
Yeah, he has a huge amount of card advantage. He has a number of game plans. He can play the control game. He can get aggressive with Lingering Souls. He can grind the game to a halt. If somebody wants to try to play the card game with him, he can just destroy them with Life from the Loam and while attacking them with Creeping Tar Pits. And most of the removal people are playing right now is Sorcery Speed. The only cards that really deal with the Creeping Tar Pit are Path to Exile and Lightning Bolt.
Shane's keeping his opening 7, so is Josh. And we're underway with a Deathrite Shaman, the official mascot of Grand Prix Chicago.
Yeah, Deathrite Shaman, probably the most played 1-drop in this tournament.
That crispy thing you smell is a Deathrite Shaman.
Yes. It's been electrocuted. Not fun to be hit by a lightning bolt. That's for sure. Shane McDermott trying to decide whether or not he wants to crack this Marsh Flats right now. Just to go ahead, crack the Marsh Flats. Going to grab himself either a Godless Shrine, Watery Grave, or a Hallowed Fountain. Just to go with the Hallowed Fountain. It's 17 now. Path to Exile on a Deathrite Shaman. A little bit of card disadvantage there for Shane McDermott. He's going to have to make up for that in the long run. But, I mean, he is a gifts control deck. And a card like Deathrite Shaman can really ruin his day.
Yes, well, I mean, especially if his plan is, you know, just turn 4, run that gifts out there. He can't let that Deathrite Shaman interfere with his plans.
Oh.
Looks like his mana is interfering with his plans here.
Yeah, that's not exactly what he wants
Not
to
have
do.
a third land. And he's jumped Josh Arthur-Layton all the way up to 4 mana on turn 3.
Yeah, with that Path to Exile. And I mean, if you're choked on lands, sometimes you really do want to leave open the option of casting Path to Exile on your own creature. So
mana leak for Dark Confidant, which it looks like Josh was pretty much expecting.
I just was expecting some type of removal
Passes
spell.
again. He does have gifts in hand. He can actually, you know, make up a lot of ground that he's lost if he can get to 4 mana.
Batterskull comes down. Shane McDermott. Eventually begrudgingly,
reluctantly, yeah. See a little clench of his fists.
And it looks like I've been wrong on every single one of these, right?
It looks like you're going to have gotten every single quarterfinal wrong. In comes Batterskull.
Hey, I stand by
In
mine.
comes Raging Ravine. Nope. Right? Nope.
Josh Utter-Leyton trying to decide the best way to beat his currently stifled opponent, and decides that this is the fastest racing.
Yeah, like, what's the worst he can do to me on 3 mana here?
Josh knows that Shane has nothing right now. It's a 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
Definitely worth it.
Shane draws for the turn.
And that's it.
Josh Utter-Leyton comes back from a 1-game-to-0 deficit to take the match, the remaining match in the quarterfinal, complete the sweep for Jake Van Lunen.
Yeah, the clean sweep.
And Josh Utter-Leyton, playing Spirit Jund, will advance to face Alex Magleton, playing Robots in the semifinals. Who do you like, Spirit Jund versus Robots?
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember.
Are you trying to reverse jinx yourself now?
I'm trying
are you
to
doing a
figure out how to
Costanza?
reverse- Am I doing the Costanza?